Well, I've seen other channels do videos like this, so damn it, why shouldn't I? Hello everyone, Britton here, also known as Samoki Dude. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody who's basically suffering through their food comas at the moment. But I'm back with a new video today. This is going to be a bit of a different one. Basically just me recommending some books because, to be honest, it was Thanksgiving and I was kind of being lazy. But we won't worry too much about that. I'm going to be talking about books that I find really fit the fall mood, since fall is in full swing right now. I mean, I could have done this in October, but October was spookathon time, and, I didn't want to interrupt that, so November it is. So, yes, I'm going to be talking about books that really grasp that fall atmosphere that I really enjoy. Now, I will say, not all of these books I own, but I will talk about all the books I am talking about here, and I'll hold up the books that I own. So, let's get into this. First book series that I really thought of when I kind of was thinking this video up was Laird Barron's Isaiah Coleridge books. Now I have all three of the books so far, except for his newest one, the novella he did. I think it's The Wind Through the Keyhole. I'll put it up if I got it wrong. I actually think I did get it wrong. I think that's a Stephen King. I think it's The Wind Began to Howl. That's right. The Wind Through the Keyhole is the Stephen King book. But I'm getting off trap here. Yeah, I think these books are really nice reading for fall. I mean, they're made for fall. I mean, look at this cover here. I mean, it's basically just telling you this is a fall book. I really like this series. I will admit it does kind of zigzag in quality, but this first book is very good. I covered it on my channel already. So, I think it's a really good crime novel, really captures that old school noir feeling, and Laird Barron is very clearly well attuned with the genre and its conventions. I mean, it does have some, kind of the noir isms that you'll find, but I really enjoyed this series a lot, despite the issues I do have, mainly with the other two books later on. But I do like the character of Isaiah Coleridge. He's a very interesting character. He's not quite your typical wise-ass detective. He's more of a modern-day incarnation of Conan the Barbarian, who almost feels like he's out of time, really. A lot of great references to classic literature, which I'm just here for. Really fun stuff. I really enjoyed I do enjoy these books, and I really like this first one a lot. If you want to check out my review of the first one, feel free to. I think it's a fun book, and I mean, again, I just have to note, I mean, what is more hard-boiled than our author having a freaking eye patch? I mean, case closed. I'm telling you right now. Second book I'm going to be talking about, By the Pricking of These Thumbs, Something Wicked This Way Comes. I am talking about Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury, who is probably the master of the fall story. I love Something Wicked This Way Comes. I haven't talked about it on my channel yet because, in all honesty, I haven't really collected all of my thoughts about this book. This is one of those books that I might dare say is magical, because it really makes you want to go out into the world and make it a better place. Like, that's how good this book is. I mean, it's one of those rare books that I could call magical. It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story of friendship, of childhood, of the forces of good and evil, and how they live amongst us, and how we must confront those forces in our lives. It's also just a great, story of friendship and love and all of those things. It was basically the It before It was even a thing. And also it is tied with the Martian Chronicles as my favorite fall book. I love Something Wicked This Way Comes as my favorite Bradbury book. Sorry, not my favorite fall book, though it is one of my favorite fall books. It's a good one to read during the fall time. Third book I have here is another from a favorite of mine, and it is one I actually read recently, and it is Suttree by Cormac McCarthy. Now, this is a kind of an odd one. Aside from, while I do think that Blood Meridian is still Cormac McCarthy's best book in terms of themes and the ideas it's discussing and just how it made me feel, as a prose stylist, I would say that Suttree is probably his best book in that regard. I mean, the prose in this is absolutely insane. It's so good. It's really Cormac McCarthy's version of Go Big or Go Home. And it talks about these just derelict, depraved, and often childish individuals, and including a character named Suttree, kind of going around. He's kind of like a Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn type of character. He's definitely, I mean, you could probably read this at any time, but a friend of mine who really got me to finally read this book said that it's a really good fall book, and I do love the atmosphere of this novel. I mean, as always, Cormac McCarthy just kills it on the atmosphere, and it's also really funny. There's some just bizarre, funny things in this novel. I mean, there is one moment in the very beginning of this novel that I just had to laugh at the pure insanity of the whole situation. It's definitely, oh man, you just have to read it for yourself. I might actually cover this book on my channel at some point. I don't know when though, so yeah, we'll get to that. Last book I'll be talking about is Looking for Alaska by John Green. My personal favorite of his books. His first novel and my personal favorite of his. I know The Fault in Our Stars gets a lot of love, but what can I say? I think Looking for Alaska is fantastic. I love the setting. I love the story it tells. I love how John Green just understands young people on such a fundamental level. I mean, I really enjoy his YouTube channel as well, where he talks about all the weird and wacky stuff that interests him and his brother. I mean, if you've ever seen Vlogbrothers, check them out. They're awesome. I mean, you know. But Looking for Alaska, I read this book at the right time, so that probably is why I would say is a good fall book. But it really captures that vibe, that kind of, while it is kind of described as like really hot since they're in the middle of Alabama, it really captures that kind of leisurely fall vibe very nicely, and it also takes place in a boarding school, which I think is really neat. But I really enjoy Looking for Alaska a lot. I did have a copy of it, but I gave it to my aunt, and she never gave it back to me. So yeah, I'm still a bit salty about that. I am never giving away my books again. So yeah, comics. First comic I have here is one of my favorite horror comics of all time. You know it, you love it. Witches by Scott Snyder and Jock. This is a fantastic series. Oh my god, I mean, just, you know. Now, it did take me a while to get used to the art style. It's definitely, I mean, you know, just look at it, you know. It's just kind of odd, you see. But it's just Scott Snyder at the top of his creative powers. I think this was really him batting for the fences and just killing it. I think he's just a phenomenal author. It's the character development is great. The atmosphere of this is great. I love the mythology around the witches. I just, it's so compelling all the way through. And I'm still waiting for him to make a continuation of this series, because as you can probably see right here, there's a 1. So yeah, I'm waiting for Witches 2, Scott. Come on now. But it's just, it's so good. I mean, my god, it's fantastic. I mean, go read this comic. It is a treat. I really do think that many of you would enjoy this comic. I did a review of this comic a long time ago. It is shit. Don't go watch it. But do read this comic though, because it is definitely not shit. It's beautiful. I have to say, it's just beautiful. Speaking of another great fall comic, is Harrow County by Cullen Bunn and Tyler Crook. Now, I actually read this series last year, the year before that. This is a series I'd wanted to try for a while. I was a bit skeptical of Cullen Bunn. I think I read one of his comics. I can't remember the name. Well, actually, I do remember the name. It's Regression, which he did with some other guy. I don't remember the artist's name. Thought it was a really shitty comic. I really did not like that comic. So I was really worried about going into Harrow County. I don't know what he was on when he wrote Regression, but let me tell you, Harrow County is fantastic. I mean, you know, I wish I would have covered it, but I've only read 2 volumes so far, both of which I like, both of which I have really enjoyed. I fucking love this. I mean, my God, this volume just comes out with a bang. I mean, I love the atmosphere, the storytelling in this is just, so good. I mean, my God, and the art from Tyler Crook is just, oh my God. I mean, hold on, let me look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. That is just, some of the sexiest watercolor I have ever seen in my life. I mean, look at that. Just look at that. It's just, oh man, it's good. It's real fun. I really enjoy this comic a lot. Harrow County. Cullen Bunn's writing in this is fantastic. Again, I love the mythology of this series. It's just, man, go read Harrow County. It is, you will not regret it. It is great. The pacing in this is a lot better than it was in Regression. Oh my God, this is like a nice 5-star meal, while Regression was like real shitty McDonald's, not the good McDonald's, like real shitty McDonald's. But I digress. So last comic I'll be talking about here today, and I'll admit I haven't read all of this, but it's from the main man himself, Brian K. Vaughan, Paper Girls by Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chiang. Man, another one that really is just, if I could describe it, Stranger Things if the Duffer Brothers took a shitload of acid and just decided to go off with the imagination. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, you think Saga is fucking bonkers? Okay, Saga is probably more bonkers than Paper Girls. But Paper Girls really, it rivals Saga, I'm telling you. Just the mind-bogglingness of this series is absolutely insane. I've actually been wanting to reread this and complete the whole series since I have the omnibus now. I just haven't gotten around to it. But what I have read, oh man, neck break. Just, oh my gosh, just, I can't even describe it. It's basically just out of its world. I can't even, oh man, I really enjoy this comic a lot. I mean, how do I describe this? Well, like I said, it's basically like if Stranger Things took a shitload of acid, there's time travel in it, and there's also alternate universe hopping. Saga, it's basically if Saga came to Earth. Like, that's literally what this comic is. Like, it is just absolutely insane. Throughout the entirety of this that I have read so far. Crazy. It's just unbelievable. I love the art from Cliff Chiang is also just great. I just like, again, look at that art right there. It's so good. I mean, what can I say? It's just, Brian K. Vaughan, I think, is one of the best storytellers in comics. I mean, he never lets you go. In any of the comics that I've read, when he strikes, oh man, he never lets you go. I mean, he does it in Saga. He does it in Paper Girls. He did it in Y the Last Man, which is another series I've yet to complete. But you will not regret picking up Paper Girls. I think it is a fantastic comic. I think it is really nice. It's a great story. It is just cutthroat, neck break, whatever you want to say. It's just, it's insane. I really enjoy Paper Girls, and I think you all should go watch it. I mean, read it. It was a show. It got canceled, but, you know, I wonder why. But, if you like Stranger Things, or if you like Saga, I mean, read Paper Girls. It's fantastic. They'll also read Saga. Saga is also really good. Well, that's all I got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this comic/book recommendations. You can check me out on Twitter. You can find me on Goodreads and Letterboxd, where I write reviews, which are probably more coherent than the one you just heard right now. And you can also find me on Discord if you want to come talk to me on there. Feel free. I would love to hear from you. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care.